What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. We got some new Godzilla figures, we got the OG shirt, but what invocation is going on with these cards? Invoked Mechaba has a low price on TCG Player of $37. Just chill on this card, just don't even pay attention to this price. We come over to eBay, you see the Germans at 27, we see, oh my, we got a brand new one at 29. And we go all the way over to YugiOhSingles.com. It's at $24. Now, do keep in mind, Europrints warp on this set. Do not buy this invocation. I'm sorry, Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles. Don't buy this invocation. I'm always going to have my audience's best interest at heart. But these Mechabas, if you're okay with a little bit of bend and fixing out those bends with your extra deck, you're going to save a pretty penny, especially with code DGZBODZ5, taking 5% off. And if you're getting free shipping by spending $75 US, that's just 3 of these and tacking on a little something else. So then you use your promo code and you're all Gucci. But I would definitely be looking over here for the Mechabas at Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles. I would be ignoring eBay and ignoring this. And the problem even with using TCG Player and eBay is that people had the chance to get the cheapest Mechabas over from Europe a while back. They were flooding the market over here because they were so cheap from Europe that they were finding ways to list it here and still making money with the international selling. So our market is actually flooded with Europrints, and if you're buying online, you never know that you're safely getting a USA copy that will stay nice and flat for you. So I would definitely just not buy online if you're scared of that. If you don't know how to flatten out your cards, if you don't know how to do that, just avoid buying this card online completely. Try to get a hookup in person. But if you are fine with it, you'll save 5% on this price right here. Just ignore any main deck card, though, from over here. Just don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. The sales rate, though, earlier, that's what I started this out at. We'll see if it actually loads my page. Hey! Raijin at $2 is trending as the highest selling rate, followed by Purgatorio and Coitus and Magellancia. People are getting the cheap ones in mass. So this just sold out, so we know a high quantity of it sold. Look how fast the other ones are selling to have a higher sales rate than it. Invoked is definitely one of the top 5 decks. I don't know how good it is under Master Rule 4, but I think True Draco's actually helped it a lot by tributing the fusion off the field, clearing your extra monster zone for another one for whatever you need. An Azure Priest that has a Big Bang Shot equipped, you got it. Like, it's a really awesome deck that has so many tools with the True Dracos, and people think that it's going to be one of the top meta decks, but there's already crazy True Draco decks coming out with Metal Foes. Hey, tributing combination, that's pretty good. And then you also have like Metal Foe Zephyra or Metal Foe Cosmo. Like, everything's just going crazy right now. People are innovating, and it actually looks really nice. I'm not joking. The OCG has the Zephyra version, and I think Robbie Cole will be talking about it later. Gofu at $9, huh? $9. Well, the OCG had this at 1. Everyone for sure thought this was going to receive some kind of hit over here, and this is just the super rare version. If you want a budget version, it just came out in the Megatins. It's at $1.20, $1, and I believe at $9 here. All right. So definitely $9 across the board right now for the OTS Pack Super. I feel like this card is just so bad if you don't draw it turn 1, but it's so good to be able to have an instant Decode Talker. I think decks that are link summoning, such as Magicians, which I play, do enjoy this card, but I don't have any way to use it as a resource if I draw it later in my turns. So it does become dead weight and a problem, and perhaps isn't optimizing a lot of builds because of its brickiness later in the game. You're basically relying on them field wiping you and not killing you, and that's kind of playing bad Yu-Gi-Oh! In my mind. So maybe if you have decks with natural discard outlets, such as maybe in Paleo, you're using Dynamiscus and you can get rid of it late game, because it actually kind of works in there. It'll be interesting to see what decks are going to be throwing this in and making it look good. Alright, Masterpiece, why are you $17? I get that nobody expected you to live. I get that everybody thought you were gonna go. But $17, huh? He was down to 9. Ignore this market price of 12. He was down to $9. And he's at 17. So I just want to point out that between this Dragonic Diagram, price at 40, settling down already to 40, might continue downward even past that, versus Masterpiece being up at 13.50 on eBay, 17 on here. History shows Masterpiece correlation to Diagram. It'll be going down. Don't worry. Everybody realized it's a 3. Probably a ton of people started grabbing 3. Chill out on this card. Again, we're in a transitional format. This is a month and a half, guys. A month and a half format before we get Spirals. Our new Vendreads, potentially. I'm pretty sure we'll be getting an update on Vendreads. Somebody actually pointed out OCG already got the Vendreads in the extra pack. What if they just don't update them? I think that would be ridiculous and a waste. So we have, remember, our meta's always different. So we will have things that keep it different. And I'm hoping we see some cool things come out of our TCG exclusives. Don't count on the FAs for it, though, boyos. So, yeah, just a lot of people aren't even going to play this next month and a half and are going to wait for the transitional format. I know Spiral comes out right before YCS Dallas. So, don't buy into the hype. Just chill out. We're that kind of Pendulum Magician zone before Full Power Pepe. Just chill. And if you don't need the diagrams, this could go anywhere. If you plan on playing True Dracos after Spirals are released, you might want to trade for these as if they dip back down under this again. But I don't know to expect that or what to expect. And I do not know. Let's see. The next card, Duelist Alliance. I was like, what is this card? Duelist? Is it Duelist Saga? Did I look up Duelist Saga? Duelist Alliance is chilling back out and it feels so nice. Yes, this is way up from where it was, but it was at like a low of 25 at some point the other nights. I definitely like the deck. It's really good. I only play 2 of these. A lot of my friends only play 2 of these. If you're playing 3, it's a hard once per turn, and you can end up having dead draws a lot. You do want to see it early. It searches so much. It searches your Luster Pendulum. It searches your Perform Pal Pendulum Sorcerer, should you play either of those. It searches your Iris Magician. It is always treated as a Pendulum Dragon, meaning this will search it. It searches your Pendulum Graph, your Star Pendulum. It searches a lot of cards for you and gets you going. And, of course, Pendulum Call should you be playing it. A lot of people play 1. Right now, I'm actually at none to try to test how consistent the deck is without it. But over here on eBay, should we go to buy it now? It looks like there's a ton of new auctions starting out in that cheap range. We got $14, so even cheaper over here on eBay. It's really weird. eBay people take more fees. They take a 30-cent PayPal fee straight off the top, and then they take the 3% from PayPal, and then they take the eBay's 9% fee itself. Whereas I think TCG Player only charges 9 to 7% depending on some certain aspects. So it's really odd to see the prices continuously higher on TCG Player, but I guess it's specifically for cards, and that's where people seem to go more these days. Both are independent users, but I guess the rating system does seem nicer. You see all these top-rated sellers here. The rating system does seem to work a little nicer. Look at this guy. It tells you just how many sales straight off the bat. eBay has that kind of feedback too, but I do like the layout of TCG Player more. So it makes sense that people might just be paying more for the interface. Swap Frog Ulti, huh? Back in the saddle again. 36 lowest. Only one before we see the fort being held by Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Market at $40. More interestingly to me, actually, is the comment at $5. And that was pretty insane. So I had to look it up. You can still get it for $3 on eBay. Chill out on it. Chill out. But Swap Frog, a lot of people are going with Paleozoics. They're thinking it's actually way better than I thought it is, and people are sticking with it. So Swap Frog's kind of back up there again, and it has caught us off guard before. I definitely think that it will be continuing to be in the meta. You're going to have to see it, but with Masterpiece still tributing traps, especially combination and other cool stuff, it's gonna have a hard time with what it already had a hard time with. But the good news is, at least Toad recycles Gamma Seal, right? We see the ulti over here is actually non-existent on eBay. Doesn't exist at all. So your cheapest options are actually over here on TCG Player, it seems. And finally, wrapping up this market watch on this wild, right, is Toad. It's actually starting to trend up here on TCG Player. It's at 380. You might want to get yours now. Over here, it's 319, and it's actually completely sold out on Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles at 255. They restocked the Megaton stuff, and Toad's their first sold-out card. I think that's saying something, boys. But that means somebody's ready with a lot of quantities, or somebody's are ready with a lot of quantities that bought Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles out of this card. So, 320 here on eBay. This man's has basically infinite, it seems. 79 sold, 29 available. That's 29 is actually not a lot. I expected that to be a lot more. And then we see brand new listings pre-owned to Team JRB Jobber. If you want to support, pay a little more over here to support somebody who definitely gives back to the community. Let's see how many Job has. More than 10. Doesn't say how many. If you want to support someone great in the community, come over here, pay a little more, support Team Jobber. By far worth the extra cents. It's still cheaper than TCG Player. Oh, sorry, Robbie Cole. Sorry, Robbie. Sorry about that. But there you go. There's today's Market Watch. Hope you all enjoyed this one. And definitely you can support Robbie too if your preferred place is TCG Player. I'm not editing this. This is actually too funny. But thanks for watching, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. No, I can't. I can't edit this. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and do subscribe if you're not already.